flavorless chicken, mushy lasagna, and spaghetti that's just blah. Olive Garden may try to tempt you with mouth-watering Italian dishes, but plenty of their menu items are just plain awful. Eggplant Parmigiana should be a slam dunk for a restaurant like Olive Garden. Drop it on a plate, add a side of pasta, and you've got a very tasty dinner. What could possibly go wrong? Pretty much everything. We were expecting the eggplant to have an al dente texture, but it came out mushy instead. The breading was also rough as sandpaper. It was tough to chew at first, but eventually it just became gross. After this experience, we decided to never order the eggplant parmigiana ever again. A proper fettuccine Alfredo consists of al dente pasta that's tossed with a Parmesan and butter cream sauce. Olive Garden, however, doesn't quite deliver on this dish.
Alfredo sauce.
It should be noted that the aroma of their fettuccine Alfredo is a real teaser with a bit of black pepper tossed in to spice it up. The cling factor of the sauce is a charmer too, making us think that we were in for a good time. But with either too much cream or butter, the dish ultimately turned out to be a greasy mess. In the mid-2000s, Olive Garden began offering lighter fare for the more health-minded eater. One such offering was Capellini Pomodoro, a promising platter of skinny spaghetti topped with juicy diced tomatoes. It looked beautiful on the menu and even dazzled when it arrived at the table. But that was before we found out how flavorless healthy Italian dining could be. Capellini Pomodoro doesn't appear to be on Olive Garden's current menu, which we can assume means it wasn't very popular with other diners either. Maybe if it ever makes a comeback, it will have the right concentration of peppy flavors to give meat-free diners something special. And if it never returns, that's fine too. If you're looking to punish your stomach while eating at Olive Garden, few selections will get the job done as thoroughly as the tour of Italy. This sampler platter pretends to provide small takes on 3 popular options for one low price. What no one tells you is that these reduced-size versions are just as hard to digest as their larger counterparts. Considering the plate holds lasagna, chicken parmigiana, and fettuccine Alfredo, it's clear that even small portions of these heavy hitters can wreak havoc on a perfectly good digestive system. We ordered the platter with the best expectations, but after 2 bites of each, we were done. One of the tastiest dishes to come from the Mediterranean is chicken parmigiana. When done well, it features a juicy chicken cutlet that's been breaded and lightly fried.
We'll take 2 chicken parmesans extra crispy.
Marinara and Parmigiano Reggiano are also added, making this a signature Italian dish. But the way Olive Garden serves its chicken parmigiana, you'd think there was no template for the recipe, just a poke-it-and-see approach. This is why the texture is so off. So how does a standard like chicken parmigiana miss the mark so badly at Olive Garden? We have to rule out the possibility of getting a bad batch, seeing as we've ordered it more than once and experienced the same texture issues each time. So perhaps the kitchen could use upgraded appliances or a new standard for cooking the chicken. Until then, we're swearing off their chicken parmigiana. We all know how comforting eating a plate of spaghetti can be, especially when it's made from a tried-and-true recipe and is made with care. However, the spaghetti at Olive Garden tastes like a hollow version of the classic, with all the heart and soul stripped away. That said, you've probably eaten better spaghetti at other restaurants. Olive Garden may present itself as a family restaurant that knows classic Italian food, but you're better off skipping their spaghetti with marinara. Minestrone, that spicy, tomato-based broth filled with beans and veggies. When made well, minestrone is a perfect complement to a slice of rustic garlic bread or, in the case of Olive Garden, a basket of their famous breadsticks. Ordering a bowl always seems like a safe choice at a place like Olive Garden. So was it the overzealous spicing or the watery broth that turned us off? Or was it the fact that the beans-to-veggie ratio was completely off balance? The best we can say about Olive Garden's minestrone is that if you dip your breadsticks into it, they're a little easier to chew, but standing on its own as a soup, it's best to avoid. Look, we get it. The fettuccine Alfredo was already a failure, so how could we assume the chicken Alfredo would be any better? Well, sometimes hunger causes you to eat foods you know you'll regret later. Needless to say, ordering the chicken Alfredo was, predictably, the wrong move. Our biggest issue was the strips of chicken, which came out way too rubbery. To be fair, maybe the extra heat from the pasta and sauce caused the chicken to overcook. Whatever the cause, we immediately wished we went with a different order after the first bite. It was that bad. How many layers of disappointment can you pack into one Olive Garden dish? The possibilities seem endless when the item in question is Lasagna Classico. Every component is present here, including wide pasta, gooey cheeses, ground beef, and hearty sauce. Yet after taking the first bite, we quickly realized how unpleasant it tastes.
Lasagna! Just get the lasagna!
There's a finesse required for making a truly balanced lasagna, one where the noodles aren't floppy, the ricotta isn't mushy, and the sauce isn't too bland. The cheese on top should bubble and brown, and the edge pieces should be crispy without being dry. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case for us. If you're in the mood for lasagna, you're better off skipping Olive Garden and finding a place that knows how to do it right.